Alright TM Nation, so believe it or not, the Skullcandy Crusher Evos came out over 4 years ago and people are still buying these brand new to this day. In fact, if you take a look at the reviews online, a lot of people say that they prefer the Evos over the flagship pair of amplified headphones from Skullcandy, which are the ANC2s. The ANC2s are newer as they came out in May of 2023, but I've had both pairs since their respective launch dates, and I have to say that they're both awesome headphones if you're a basshead. They're both built sturdy, as you can see. Years later, I have no rips, tears, or anything of that nature on either pair, and being that there is only $20 difference in price right now, the natural question becomes, is it worth it to go for the newer ANC2s or save some money and go with the tried and true Crusher Evos? In this video, I will make that decision easier for you, as I will cover the differences that you should be aware of between them, and I do also have sound quality samples with both pairs that I took with my binaural microphone to give you guys a better idea of how they perform in this department. Getting the easy stuff out of the way in terms of what you'll get with each pair, the ANC2 headphones are on sale at the time of the video for $149 and the Evos are $129. With the ANC2s, you're gonna get a nice hard carrying case to protect the headphones while you have them out and about, but you don't get this same case with the Evos. Those are gonna come with a carrying bag that you can throw the headphones in when you're on the go. I do like the fact that both pairs can lie flat on a surface or fold up completely, but the ANC2s are heavier, coming in at 332 grams, with the Evos being less hefty at 312. One thing that I will say about the weight is if you use your headphones to exercise like I do, you can definitely start to feel that difference in weight, especially when you're tired. Otherwise, both pairs feel great on my head and ears, as well as the ear cups and the top headbands do contain sufficient padding, but the padding on the ANC2 ear cups is noticeably more plush, and the headband is made out of a breathable cloth type material in comparison to the rubber that you get with the Evos. I do want to mention that none of these headphones have a published water resistance rating, so using them out in the rain or dunking them down into any type of liquid is not a good idea, but I have used both pairs for pretty strenuous workouts and none of them malfunctioned on me, even when I had them pretty much drenched in sweat. Overall, I give the comfort edge to the ANC2s because although they are heavier, the materials feel more premium and they just feel slightly more comfortable on my head and ears. For the battery life, the ANC2s will give you up to 60 hours of use on a charge without using ANC, whereas the maximum that you'll get with the Evos is 40. Now, if you do choose to use ANC on pretty much the whole time with the ANC2s, you will get closer to 50 hours of use on a charge, which is still 10 hours more than what you'll get with the Evos. It is worth noting though that both pairs do feature fast charging that will supply 4 hours of use from only a 10-minute charge, so when it comes to all-day use, you should not have an issue with either pair, but the ANC2s do come out on top. Another design difference that you guys should be aware of is the fact that the ANC2s have a total of 6 buttons, whereas you only have 4 and the bass slider with the Evos. With the ANC2s, things can get a little bit clunky because the bass slider is also a button that you can push to access different bass presets, which did cause a lot of confusion when these first released because people thought they were maxing out the bass slider when they were really hitting presets for 20 and 50% of the bass that these are capable of in some cases. The Evo slider, on the other hand, is a what you see is what you get system. If you want more bass, you simply slide it up. If you want less, slide it down. I am able to get the sound that I'm looking for out of both pairs, as it doesn't take long to figure out the ANC2 system, but if you want simplicity, it doesn't get much easier than the bass adjustment that you get with the Evos. Besides that, you get all of your essential controls with both pairs to include tracks, calls, you get the ANC and transparency toggle on the ANC2s, and both pairs do give you volume controls both up and down. The ANC2s do give you access to the new and improved Skullcandy app that comes along with the Skull IQ functionality, which allows you to execute many of the functions you would typically have to press the buttons on your headphones to use or use your device to complete by simply saying "Hey Skullcandy" and saying what you would like to happen. For example, you can use the voice controls to adjust your volume both up and down, increase or decrease the Crusher bass, turn ANC on or off, transparency on or off, and much more. With the firmware updates, it has become much more accurate over time, and I have to say that I really didn't use the feature that much when these first came out because it was kind of hit or miss, but if I had to estimate how it works right now, I would say that it's accurate about 90% of the time, which adds a level of convenience that you don't get with the Evos. Taking a deeper dive into the companion app experiences, the Evos use the standard Skullcandy app that does give you the ability to see the charge left on the headphones, execute firmware updates when applicable, access pre-built EQs, create your own, or take the sound test to have the app create one tuned to your hearing. You can track the headphones via tile and access the user manual on the go. You do get all of these features with the ANC 2s that use the newer Skull IQ app, but you also get the ability to customize some of the buttons to your liking. They provide you with the ANC and transparency controls, the expanded voice controls that I spoke about a moment ago, Spotify Tap that will open that app directly from the headphones, and you also get the ability to control the bass intensity inside of the app independent of the slider on the headphones. All in all, you do get the basics and pretty much what you need with the Evos, but if you want everything that Skullcandy has to offer at the moment, the ANC 2s are where it's at. For Bluetooth connection, the ANC 2s being newer are using 5.2, whereas the Evos are on 5.0. I have used both pairs with my iOS and Android devices to watch YouTube videos and Amazon Prime movies without any issues with any noticeable latency, but neither pair is going to be the best choice for a hardcore mobile gamer, as neither of them have a low latency mode. Another difference that you have between them is that the ANC 2s do feature multi-point connectivity, so you can have them paired to two different devices at once and seamlessly switch between them without going through the connection process each time. Alright guys, so right now I have the Evos paired to my iPhone 16 Pro, and as you can see, the audio that you're hearing is coming from the microphone on them. Right now the room is relatively quiet, but I'm going to switch over to the Crusher ANC 2s and do this same test. Give me a second. Now I have the ANC 2s paired to my iPhone 16 Pro. Everything else about this test is exactly the same. As you can see, the audio that you're hearing is coming from the microphone on them. And right now the room is relatively quiet, but I'm going to do my background noise test. Give me a second. Now I have some simulated background noise playing in the background. This part of the test is aimed at seeing how well the microphone on these headphones can go ahead and focus on my speech while rejecting some of that noise. And here is the background noise test using the ANC 2s. Again, everything else about this test is exactly the same. Still paired to the iPhone 16 Pro. So let me know what you guys think between the two. Do you think that the ANC 2s do a better job of focusing on my speech and rejecting some of that noise? Or do you think the Evos do a better job? Let me know. For the sound quality, like I said earlier, I do have samples for you guys coming up in just a moment. But in summary, I will say that the ANC 2s just provide a more full sound, and they don't give you as much distortion at the higher volumes as what you get with the Evos, which are pretty much the most bass heavy headphones that I own. That being said, if you're looking for the deepest bass possible, in most cases the Evos can get a little bit deeper than the ANC 2s, but if you want more clarity and the ability to hear more of the detail in your music, the ANC 2s are definitely your best bet. Neither pair is going to be audiophile grade, guys, because that is not what these are for. They are for head rattling bass that you really can't get from any other company out there right now besides Skullcandy. For trips when I want to take a bassier headphone, I usually go for my ANC 2s because I can use them for anything. The sound quality is good, I can bump the bass up when I want to, and I have the benefits of ANC and transparency modes that I can toggle on or off based on my environment. Now when I'm outside exercising or at the gym, I typically take my Evos because I do have two pairs, and the slider, as I mentioned earlier, is a what you see is what you get system. When I want the maximum level of bass that they're capable of, I simply slide the slider up and I don't have to think about it. It takes less than a second to achieve and there's no guesswork involved. Like I said, the Evos do sound good, so they're no slouch by any means, but they don't maintain as much of their fidelity at the higher volumes, so I typically don't push them above 80%. To my ears, the ANC 2s also get slightly louder in sheer output than the Evos at max volume, so strictly focusing on the bass, I would give that to the Evos, but for the overall listening experience, that's gonna go to the ANC 2s for me personally.
Every time I think you're gonna walk out of my door, I start to jump to the conclusion you don't love me no more. Babe, give me some to work with, can you just reassure me? couldn't do it and I did. I'm a champion. I'm a champion.
Now I feel at home. I've been in my zone. I can't do no wrong. Yeah. I've been on the road. Hardest way to home. Miss you while I'm gone. They say I wouldn't do it like I'm wrong. They say I couldn't do it and they feel. They say I wouldn't do it and I fall. They say I couldn't do it and I did. I'm a champion. I'm a champion.
So taking everything into consideration, fam, you can't go wrong with either pair. They are both solid at their respective prices, and if you're looking for amplified bass headphones, these are the cream of the crop. But if you need ANC or transparency, access to the newer Skullcandy app with all of the Skull IQ functionality, multi-point connectivity, the better battery life, and the better sound quality overall, I would definitely say that the $20 more for the ANC2s is worth it. Otherwise, both of my Evos are still going strong, and in general, they're just more raw and unfiltered than the ANC2s in terms of the sheer bass response that they provide. But really, both pairs of my Evos seem like they've only gotten better as time has gone on. I don't know if it's because the drivers have loosened up, but these things never cease to amaze me when I put them on. I don't see where I would ever get rid of my Evos or my ANC2s, but if I could only pick one pair, it would be the ANC2s because of the added features, how comfortable they are on my head, and the better sound quality overall.